How you doing, Duff here? This is day 2 of my backwards training. I've tried to ride backwards more than once, but I've never really been serious about it. Now Marty's throwing down the gauntlet, practicing every day, so I got to keep practicing. And I'll tell you, today is not a good day to practice. After my fall yesterday, my wrists are sore, both elbows are bruised and sore, and I also did something to my big toe on my right foot. It's all black and blue and sore and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, but I'm gonna try to get my 10 or 15 minutes of practice in anyways. If you look at my wheel, you'll see that I did add a little bit of foam padding, which isn't even staying on there very well. I'm hoping I don't need it that much, but just to protect the wheel in case I have another bad fall like yesterday. Watching my video and watching Marty's video gave me some insight to some things that I've been doing wrong. First of all, I'm kind of hunching forward. One of the things that's very important is to stay upright, because what happens is you kill your backwards momentum if you start going forward, and then you stop or you're going super slow, and it's very hard to balance in that condition. The other thing I noticed that I'm doing is the thing that I always talk about not doing when you're riding a unicycle forward conventionally, is I was looking down. I was looking down at the ground, which is a no-no. And the same thing applies to going backwards. You should be looking up. And watching Marty's videos illustrate, he was doing just that. He was pushing off the truck, keeping his body as upright as possible, and looking forward and up, not down at his feet. So I'm going to try a combination of those things and see what happens. I also have my truck. You're sitting on the back of the Tacoma, which I head down towards the base of my driveway. I'm going to try to use it as a push-off aid in a similar fashion as well, so I don't have things on either side. A couple people mentioned that when you have a wall or fence to your side, your natural reaction is always to be grabbing for it, and you might actually lean that way, and leaning that way is what finally throws you off the wheel. And the one other thing I noticed is, if you watch any of my videos, I usually have a very, very loose position on the wheel with my lower legs, with my calves. I usually have my feet on the pedals, but my calves are barely touching the wheel. And what that does is that allows a lot of wobble. And since I'm so comfortable going forward, it's not a big deal. Going backwards, I'm not. And I was using the same leg position. So what that was doing was allowing tons of wiggle in the wheel, and that wiggle resulted in really hard, awkward angles and me face planting as well. So I'm going to try to work on getting my legs tighter as well. First thing I'm going to do though is just ride around my property a little bit, just to loosen up, because I don't think it's a good thing to go straight into riding backwards. So let's see what happens. Okay, that was like maybe a 5-minute warm-up. So let's see what happens here. It's probably not a good angle on the truck. Let me get my tripod. Okay, you are now on a tripod off to the side of the truck. This doesn't feel like having those extreme angles I did yesterday, where I would lose control of it. People driving by probably think I'm freaking crazy. I am. kind of cool though. This brings me back to my days of learning, the very early days where all my practice was in the driveway. When it was a huge deal when I was able to ride the length of the driveway without falling off. So if I can do that backwards, it'll be a similar accomplishment. See, that time I tried to ride out the curve. I was starting to curve one way and I tried to correct it and I almost overcorrected. I didn't look how far I got that time. At least I don't have a fence to grab onto. It's one improvement. Only a foot away from the line. Marty's now on day 5 of his backwards training. And his day 4 was pretty impressive, and he said day 5 is even better, so I have a long way to go. Nice. That was a good couple feet past the line. Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't mind having to step off. I don't mind falling off. So it's a high priority of mine to not fall off, both for my wheel's sake and my own. I do think it's better doing it this way. I had someone very early on when I first talked about going backwards saying how he learned pushing off of a wall, and I do definitely see the advantage of doing it this way after doing it both ways. And I also am going to try to adhere to the 10 to 15 minute rule. I sort of checked my watch, because I think another part of me falling yesterday was fatigue. You know, catching yourself mid-fall all those times does get fatiguing for sure. So. All right, that was to the line. Good. Not good, but better. I really have to consciously think about trying to squeeze the bot a little bit more with my feet. I'm so used to not doing that. I got to the line 2 rides in a row. That's good. At least I'm making progress. See, the problem is when you have a fall like I did yesterday, you start to get tentative. You keep thinking that you're pushing your luck. You know, I'm like, okay, I've gone past the line. How much longer is it going to be till I lose it? And that kind of mentality really screws with you. So, trying to not think that way. Wish I could step off as cleanly as Marty normally does. You know, in all the training, even when he was starting, I don't remember seeing him have hardly any kind of like lunging save step offs like I have almost every time. Not quite sure what the explanation is for that, but definitely for me to get off of it clean. And I really want to try to keep my hands more still and quiet, because, you know, just like I say with riding forward, waving around kind of actually generates more instability than stability, so I really want to try to keep them down and quiet. Walking it back. Dumb. Ride it back. Right? Dumb. Just feels weird to have to actually think about what you're doing again. I'm so used to riding forward, you know, became just a reflex reaction, like breathing almost. Having to think about technique and what you're what you're doing again is challenging. But just like learning to go forwards, hopefully the payoff is worth it in satisfaction, personal satisfaction. That one was screwed from the beginning. To stay more upright. I think I was kind of hunching a little bit prior to that ride. Let's go to the side.